Welcome. We are having a slower morning, and I watched Mystic Pizza many, many years ago. It was actually one of my favorite movies, and I saw it over and over again on a lot of autumn movie watch lists. So I started it this morning, and then hopefully we'll finish it tonight. And then I did a little bit of cleaning up in the kitchen, put a little bit of jazz, cozy music. I am going to make hamburger helper tonight for dinner, just a simple one-pot meal. I also want to bake something today. I have a couple of recipes I'm looking at, obviously something with apple cider, trying to finish it up. And then I'm going to take a little bit of time to do some more coloring in this fuzzy Haig book, I think is how you say it. Just trying some different techniques, doing a whole scene, and just doing a little bit here and there. And I was working on like the windows and different techniques. And once again, I'm using a picture for inspiration just to help me, just makes it a little bit easier. So this is the picture, and I just try to focus on like the window. I'm very happy with the way that it came out. Just use my little jelly roll pen to put some of the lines across. And I do like the color for the hat and the scarf, and I'm really excited about it. We're out enjoying the beautiful afternoon. You can see there's a little bit of a breeze. The leaves are moving, and it's nice to see all of the autumn displays out. Hay, mums, pumpkins everywhere you look. Linus was checking it out too. And Andrew is such a fast walker. Linus loves it. Hunter, not so much. Hunter keeps his nose to the ground. And I just kind of trailed back a little bit because I was just enjoying the beautiful day. The blue sky, the leaves are all changing. They're falling on the ground quicker than what I would like to see. And when you were out in the sun, it was almost a little bit too warm. And then when we came home, my pillow covers were there. Steve got them on. It was really tight to get them on. I do like them. The fabric, I'm not too sure about. It says that they're outdoor pillows, so I'm hoping they'll hold up. Only time will tell. But I think I'm going to move the pillow over to this chair so that way it's with the mum and the pumpkins. So when I'm in the kitchen and look out, I can see this pretty little fall display. Now I'm going to bake an apple cider coffee cake. I will link the recipe down below. It had really good reviews. I had all of the ingredients. I like that it had a streusel topping, the coffee cake, and then a little bit of an apple cider glaze on top. And the one thing it says to do is boil the apple cider down. So I guess this enhances the apple flavor. So you start off with 1 1/4 cups of apple cider, and then you boil it until it reduces down to a 1/2 cup. So I'm just going to go ahead and make the streusel topping. It's just butter, flour, brown sugar, granulated sugar, and then a little bit of cinnamon. It just says to mix it all up and then put it in the refrigerator. Said to use 1 1/4 cups of chopped apples, preferably Granny Smith. I had 2 of them, so I just went ahead and peeled and cut up 1, and it was just a little over a cup. But now that I made the coffee cake, I wish I would have used the second one. I didn't think it would hurt to have more apple in it. So I just keep taking my measuring cup and keep putting it in to see if I'm close to the 1/2 cup. I didn't get it right down to the 1/2 of the cup. I did it as best as I could because I was also on a little bit of a time restraint. So I'm just mixing up all of the dry ingredients here into a bowl, and then I'm just going to push it to the side and then use all of the wet ingredients. And it called for 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt or sour cream. I went ahead and used the sour cream, and I'm also going to use my new Snoopy pan I bought this year. I do have a large KitchenAid stand mixer. I like it for making dough. I love using the dough hook. I just find it's a lot easier. I also love it when I make big batches of cookies, especially something with oatmeal. I love using the machine to do all of the work, but for something smaller like this, I would much rather use this cordless KitchenAid mixer. I asked for it for Christmas last year, and my husband gave it to me early so I could use it for my Christmas baking, and then for Christmas he gave me a couple of other things. I don't mind getting certain appliances. I have enjoyed them, and I've always been happy with KitchenAid appliances, so I just want to give you a little bit of that feedback. This was a lovely batter. It mixed up very easily. Like I said, I would have added another apple. I think it could have used it, but I love the way that this came up. It wasn't too thick. It wasn't too hard to stir. It was just really nice. So you just spread it all out, and then you put the little crumble on top, and then you put it in the oven and bake away. I've been trying some different recipes, but I wanted a simple one-pan dinner tonight. I am making the hamburger helper recipe that I've been using for the past couple of years. I will link it down below. I pretty much follow it exactly, but I always like to add some kind of a vegetable to it. And tonight I am adding this jumbo green pepper. I don't use a lot of frozen vegetables, but I usually keep peas and corn in my freezer, and I think I should probably pick up a bag of mixed vegetables because this time of the year it's always nice to have something in the freezer that you can pull out to add some vegetables to a dish, and for this night, keep it a one-pan dinner. And it calls for tomato paste. I also pulled this out of the freezer. I forgot to take it out this morning, and the last time I opened up a can, I knew that I would need it for something else. So I had it in some warm water. It was still a little frozen in the center, but it's okay. I'm adding in garlic powder and chili powder. That's what the recipe called for. I always add in a little bit more chili powder, so I'm just gonna get the tomato paste all worked in, and then you add in 3 cups of beef broth. And I think the reason why I keep going to this recipe is I like the ratio of it. It's 3 cups of beef broth and 1 cup of macaroni. Now you could change this up. You could add corn to it. You could add in taco seasoning. You could, use mushrooms and something else in here and then add Italian seasoning and kind of make it work for the flavors that you like. And I think that's one of those times when you find a recipe and you really, really like it, you can tweak it a little bit with either vegetables or what kind of cheese you use and what kind of seasonings you use too. So anyways, once you get it up to a boil, you just add in the macaroni, and then it says for about 8 to 10 minutes. I usually do it for about 8 minutes, and then I turn the heat off and then let it sit, because once it's cooked, you're going to be adding in some cheese. So we're going to boil this away for 8 minutes. As always, the day kind of got away from me, and I ended up baking the cake a little bit later than I wanted. So I had it on a plate, I put it in the fridge so it could cool down, and now I'm making the glaze. Now, I was on the side of caution. I put in the apple cider that it called for, but it was still too thick, so I added a little bit more apple cider, also a little bit of vanilla. That's what it called for. I don't want it too thick. I don't want it too thin. I'm really thinking that once I get it to the right consistency, I'm just going to take the whisk and then kind of go over it. And this was such a simple recipe to make. I really like the glaze and then just putting a little bit of cinnamon in it. So I'm going to put it back in the fridge, let it harden up a little bit. And now it's been 8 minutes. I know that this is going to be good because I've already made this before. So I'm just adding a little bit more pepper to it. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in the 2 cups of cheese. It calls for cheddar cheese. That's exactly what I had in the fridge. So I just pulled it out and then I put the cheese in and then I let it sit for a couple of minutes because it's going to continue to cook and thicken it up. And here it is. I'm not going to do anything fancy. We're just going to have this tonight. Usually I would do like a side salad or garlic bread or something with it, but I'm just going to keep it really simple tonight. We're just going to have a nice comfort meal. And I didn't do any garlic bread or anything because I did make dessert tonight. And I considered dessert part of our dinner. And this was delicious. I loved it. It was easy to make. I do wish, like I said, I would have added more apple to it, but I love the crumble. I love the little bit of an apple cider cinnamon glaze. It was really good. So like I said, I didn't change much with this recipe, and like I would have added another apple. That's what I would have done differently. So it will be linked down below. We had a wonderful day, and keeping it real, I did get behind in my laundry this week. It doesn't happen very often, but I have a good system to get back on track. I get all of my laundry baskets out, and then as I fold everything, I sort it. It just makes it easier to put it away. And then I was walking over and Hunter got startled. He looked up. I almost called him Charlie. So I covered him up with a blanket and he went back to bed. And then Linus was zonked out. He was loving pillows, but it looks like he's getting back to being a blanket man, which is good because he is named after Linus from Charlie Brown. And then it was time for Steve and I to finish watching this movie. I remember as a teenager, I watched this quite a few times. It was one of my favorites, and I could see why they say it was an autumn movie. Seeing Julia Roberts, Matt Damon was even in this movie too. He played Charlie's little brother, and I did really enjoy it. It wasn't always a happy movie. They had problems, they had difficulties, but I really like the way that it all came together. I think it is a really good movie to watch in autumn. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.